We're going to talk about the path all season long until the Detroit Lions go win the Super Bowl. The path to the Super Bowl.
The path.
And basically what that comes down to is I think the best path to kind of get there is that number one seed. The path to getting the number one seed. And when you break it down, bro, you brought up the other day what these teams look like. And let's just bring up the Eagles real quick. Right now, the Eagles are the number one seed.
Give me that gauntlet.
So let's break down this. Currently, they're 7-1. I want to go game by game real quick.
Okay.
And then I want to kind of put down here the record we believe the Eagles will have.
Okay.
And then we could do the same for the Lions and the 49ers. Because I do believe truly that the Lions can get that one seed.
I think so. I agree too.
Okay, so let's do this then. 7-1 Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
At home versus the Cowboys.
That's the key. You got to tell me if they're home or away, which I'm sure you got.
Yep, at home versus the Cowboys.
I'm going to go Eagles.
Eagles? Okay,
yep.
So we're 8-1.
8-1.
On the road, Kansas City.
I'm going to go Kansas City.
8-2.
Mm-hmm.
At home versus the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to go Eagles.
9-2. At home versus the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm going to go 49ers.
All right, remember that too for when we do the Niners one, okay?
Oh, okay. Yep.
So 9-3.
Yep.
At the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm going to go win. Eagles win.
10-3.
I wish I could say L.
10-3. At the Seattle Seahawks.
Loss. That's a loss.
10-4.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a loss. All right, then the last two I think are
win.
I think Giants,
Cardinals or something.
Yep. So we have them at 13-4.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that down here. 13-4. The Philadelphia Eagles, which right now they're 7-1. That's a
damn good season.
It is, but that's a tough matchup. The matchups they have. Like I heard Neil today talk about a little bit how like the Eagles are like people keep going down going at them, but they're still 7-1.
Oh, the Eagles are legit.
But I don't think he realized that they play the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks.
I can't imagine a harder schedule of any team in the NFL. Also, all in the NFC. Yeah, and contenders.
That's 6 straight games versus contenders.
Yeah,
and they are half of them are on the road.
They are. I think we both had them as the number one team in the league in Tuesday's power rankings.
Yeah,
they're legit, and they probably haven't got enough respect. But look, they're 7-1. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be okay the rest of the season. I think they'll still be a good team, but it's hard to win against those teams. It's hard to win a stretch of games,
especially when you have 3 on the road.
Yeah, you think coming out of that, do they going to have any energy going into the playoffs?
Yep. All right. The San Francisco 49ers. This is the other team that you have to watch out for the one seed. A lot of people will probably be like, oh, the Seahawks. I'm really not worried about the Seahawks. I think the 49ers, they are going to figure a way out to start winning games again. Yes. It is the 49ers.
Seahawks are, and we're doing, I know this activity we're doing, it's Eagles and 49ers. Seahawks, I don't know if we should overlook them.
That's fair.
We don't need to do this.
When we get done with this, we're going to do our playoff seeds.
Okay.
I want to hear, because maybe right now, at the moment, the Seahawks have that home matchup to open up the playoffs.
True.
Because they're leading their division. All right, so the 49ers 5-3 right now, brother. Let's do this again. I want to, when we get done too, I want to look at the comments and see where they're thinking with this. 5-3 next game at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is the 49ers.
Yep.
At the Jaguars.
Yep.
Their very next game.
Right. Yep. Next game.
Oh.
I think it's coming out of a bye.
I can't do four losses in a row, but
it's a tough game.
At Jacksonville.
Yep.
And we don't know if Debo or Trent Williams are playing.
I'm gonna say this. Let's just say a win. Coming off of a bye. Usually teams are good off a bye. Let's say a win because I'm gonna lead this to another one because there's another game in a week after that. So the next game is the Bucks. So 5-3, 6-3, 7-3. So you're sitting at 7-3. Then you go on the road and play the Seahawks. Let's give that one a loss. You lose either the Jags or the Seahawks game.
Okay.
So 7-4. Eagles, we already gave them a win for that.
Yep.
8-4. Seahawks at home. Let's say win.
In San Francisco?
Yep.
Yeah,
9-4. Cardinals 10-4. At home versus the Ravens. I think they win that game. 11-4, and then they have the Commanders.
It's a tough one, though.
Commanders and the Rams. So 13-4.
Okay. I'm cool with those 13-4.
Wow.
Forget that. They have 3 losses already. That's crazy. And they might lose 2 or 3 games in that match.
I think you could give them 5 losses.
You could argue the Ravens beat them. You could argue they lose in Seattle or lose one of the 2 Seattle games. That's it's not as much of a gauntlet as the Eagles, just in terms of back-to-back crazy games. But
Eduardo brought up a good point. Jags coming off a bye as well. Yeah, that's tough. Then
Jags could very well beat them this weekend.
They don't have a walk in the streak kind of whatever that saying is. Just an easy schedule the rest of the year. They have some tough games.
Even the Bucs, who I think they're not as good as maybe we thought they were leading into the Lions game, but that defense is tough. Like, they can still play people tough. They still have some pieces.
Dude, they play the Jaguars on the road. They play the Seahawks on the road. They play the Eagles on the road. They play the Seahawks at home again, and then they play the Ravens. Those are all 5 teams that are most likely contenders for the Super Bowl.
Jeez.
They have 5 games left that are versus contenders, and 3 of them are on the road. They're going to, after losing 3 straight and seeing how, like, you can pick them apart if you need to, they might lose 2 or 3 of those games still, and they already have 3 losses.
Very likely.
49ers are going to end with 5 losses. There's no way they don't lose 2 more games.
I can mess with that.
So let's say 12-5.
Wow.
And then yesterday, we already broke down the Detroit Lions schedule. 6-2 right now. We had them. Do we had them winning it versus the Chargers?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so 7-2, 8-2 versus the Bears, 9-2 versus the Packers.
I had them going 8-1. Whether that's
let's just say they win 14 games. Is that fair? Is that fair? Everyone in the chat.
That's going 8-1.
All of the people. Is that fair? 14 wins.
The Cowboys are the only team the rest of the season that's above 500. Not only that, most of the teams are like near the bottom of the league.
I'm telling you, it's a 3-game season. And Nick, Lucas, I want to get your opinion. I said this yesterday. I feel like the Detroit Lions maybe a 3 or 4 game season in the second half, to where you're at the Saints, at LA, at Dallas, and then Lucas, I brought up your point with the Vikings game. You're at Minnesota. I think that you're a 4-game season. If you can go 3-1 in those 4 games, I think you have a chance to win that 1 seed, because I don't think you lose these other games in the NFC North.
I mean, it depends. How long is Justin Fields still shut down for?
I think I would rather play Justin Fields.
Lucas.
What's up?
I think I would rather have Justin Fields in the game.
Well, I'm saying, like, you can't, like, I think it's tough to say, like, a 4-game schedule when you remember how tough it was to go into Chicago last year, and now they got DJ Moore. They're an improved team. Like, I'm not saying that the Lions are going to lose there, but that's a game where you could easily get smacked around. It's hard for any team to play in Chicago. Look at the 49ers last year. I mean, look at some of the
that
teams
was the one loss I
year.
picked.
Okay, so cool. Let's be, because some people in the chat here are saying Detroit Lions said 13-4. John Hughes said it is possible, but more like 7-2. Let's do this. I will be a man of the people here, real quick. This is what we're gonna do. Let's say they win one more. They lose one more game in the NFC North, whether it's the Bears, like Lucas is saying, or maybe the Vikings on the road. They lose one more, and then out of those 3 games, the Chargers, Saints, and Cowboys, they lose 1. So 2 losses to finish the season 13-4.
That's totally fair.
And that was my record prediction at the year. So you're sitting at 13-4, right? That's what we had the Eagles finishing. So then it just comes down to a tiebreaker.
What is a tiebreaker if you don't play?
Conference.
Conference,
then, yep.
Like the Eagles and Lions, for example, like the Ravens, they'll have like matchups. Or I don't know if the Eagles play the Ravens too, but they'll have matchups on their schedule that are similar. And then if like
I think the Lions actually come out of that. I don't know what the percentage of the conference, because if you think about it, I know I'm getting into divisions here, but the Lions are in the worst division in football.
Oh yeah.
So they can go get easily 6 games in the conference, or 5. Say they do drop 1, 5. That's 5 conference games already out of your 13 wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's a huge advantage, and you've already gotten 1 versus the Bucs. That's 6. The Falcons at 7. Panthers 8. And then if you beat the Saints, that's 9. I think if you kind of go lose 2 more games and you have a tiebreaker, I think you can win that.
Yeah, Booner, I think even if you do drop those 2 hardest games left, even it's versus the Saints and at Cowboys, even if you do drop those 2 and you win the rest, it's 13-4. Like we're all saying, like we are happy with 13-4. If that gets us the number 1 seed, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I think those are clearly the 2 toughest games left on the schedule. I think we sweep the division, we go 6-0. But yeah, at New Orleans is never easy. And then at Dallas, that's kind of a rivalry kind of sparking game.
Yeah, and someone said in the chat, brother, I want to hear what you think on this. Someone said you guys have to do the Seattle schedule.
Okay.
Are we underrating the Seattle Seahawks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the Seattle schedule then, and I'll put them in. And then if we have to go into the next segment a little bit with our playoff predictions, we'll do that. So Seattle, 5-2 right now. First game coming this week in 2 days. They're on the road versus the Baltimore Ravens.
Loss.
All right, 5-3. At home versus Commanders.
Win.
6-3. On the road, Rams.
Win.
7-3. At home versus the 49ers. We already gave them
Loss.
We already gave them
a loss.
Yeah, we had
Did
them
we?
splitting with them.
Yeah.
So 6.
Oh, we had them splitting with the 49ers, so it's
Yeah.
a win.
So 7-3.
Okay. Damn.
Wait, did we give them a win in the Ravens?
I thought you said we didn't talk about them in the Ravens yet.
Yeah, that was the first game.
Loss.
Okay, so 5-3, 6-3,
Confused.
7-3, 7-4. At the Cowboys.
Win.
8-4. At 49ers.
Loss.
8-5.
8-5. Versus the Eagles at home.
Loss. No, we.
call that a win?
That's
already
where I'm
did
starting to, because I can't remember what we did for the 49ers
You
games.
called the split with the 49ers, so call it however you want, win or home, or win at home or away, do whichever one. And then he had.
Did we have them
Seahawks
beating the
beating
Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Titans.
Win.
At the Titans. Okay. At Steelers.
Win.
And at Cardinals.
Win.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, ending the year with 4 straight wins. 4, 5, 6, 7. We had them with 7 more wins. So they're at 5-3 right now. We have them at 12.
Okay. So they won't be 13.
Wow, yeah. So hey, whoever in the chat said that, they're at 12. They don't win the division or their division. That's
Crazy.
fair.